Welcome back, Internet. We are on our next episode. I believe it's episode 7 for Deserted. Still have oodles and piles of sand. So, it is what it is. But yeah, we are making our way with getting everything processed. So, currently are getting everything all set up. I mean, look at all this dry sand we're gonna have to deal with. That's ridiculous. I might have to do some extensions. Oof, just so much dry sand. That's okay though. That's why we're getting all the red sand moved over. Get it moved over to here, because it's not going to work well otherwise. Let's go ahead and do this. Get that dirt over so it stops falling down. Oh no. I have run out. Okay. Let's do this. Do a filter. We'll do it to allow red sand. Try to get everything to move over quicker. Ooh, actually. Oh, okay, yeah, all that dirt's about gone. Do that. And copy this one. We're gonna take this, move it over to here. And then we're gonna have you go that way. Why are you struggling so bad? Okay, maybe this isn't gonna work as well. It seems to work okay most of the time, but I guess it's not gonna work this time. Let's just do this. Do it this way for now, I suppose. Yeah, it doesn't seem to do so great when got the whole thing all piled up like that. Seems to struggle a bit. It does fine when you're doing smaller amounts at a time. Like, it'll push it up pretty good, but it doesn't seem to work so well when it's piled halfway up. So I'm gonna have to try to remember. I'm not going to remember that for next time. I'm probably gonna try this like 8 more times, and it's not gonna work. Like, why didn't I start doing this already? I already knew this. Yeah, I'm still gonna do it. That's just how it works. So, but that's okay. We're gonna get this all going. Get it moved over. Ugh. Man, it has been busy. Yeah, I had to make sure I stopped playing Minecraft earlier. Got the kids all into bed, and then I was playing Minecraft for a bit, and I was like, no, I need to quit. I gotta record tonight. I gotta make sure that's getting done. So didn't wanna leave you guys without getting something. You know, I wouldn't. It's not fair. Although I might do this episode short and hurry and do a recording of that other one I was talking about last week. I think that could be fun. Maybe you guys will get like a 2 for this week. Get one Sandustry and one other one. Because I don't know if that other one will take much to cut down. I mean, it's only a demo, and I think it only took me like an hour and a half to do the entire thing. So I might do that, and then you guys can have 2 episodes this week, and I'll just put them up one day, my normal Tuesday night right now, and then I'll put up the other one on like Wednesday or something. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, this should be plenty of space. I wonder if I could do it now. Yeah, it doesn't seem to work so hot when it piles up. So I can get it to drop down a little bit. Oh, come on. Maybe do this. And as this works its way through, it'll finally start going up. Yeah, this just is not wanting to work. See, I told you I was gonna try it anyway. Yeah, well, it is what it is. We'll go ahead and do that. We'll go you, and then we're gonna go you, and then we're gonna correct this filter to only allow sand instead of red sand. There we go. That's done. Okay. Alright. Well, that's moving back again. Do some more filters to block sand. And boom. Ooh. Oh, it's almost done. Nice. And this is almost entirely sand. I mean, there's a little bit of other stuff in here, but it's mostly all sand, so this should work. Ooh, actually, you know what? Let's do this. We'll go you, block, sand. I'll just move all this sand over like that. Let it all pile up. I'm a genius. Oh, there's spores. Okay, I don't have a thing to do wet spores yet, other than the one further down. All this is gonna have to... Nope. Have to go there. Clear out the sand. Okay, well now we just gotta let this process for a bit. Let it run the course. Then we gotta go back down. Get the next section moved up here. Because all of this stuff over here... I mean, honestly, most of this will go through as it processes. Because, I mean, eventually this will all work its way through the system I've got going, that loop. I gotta figure out where I'm gonna store gold. You know what, I'm gonna put it there, because that'll be easy for me to see it. And maybe that'll help me remember it. There goes my cat knocking stuff over because he's got the zoomies. I don't know if the mic picked that up or not. I've got it set to not do a lot of the background noise and whatnot. So like if I'm coughing or if noises like that where all the things go tumbling down from my cat knocking stuff over. Usually my mic doesn't pick that up. So I don't know if you guys heard that or not. I won't even know if it showed up until I'm cutting the audio and fast forwarding stuff or whatever. So if it shows up, I guess I'll probably leave it in, because otherwise this little chit chat won't make any sort of difference. Okay, well, yeah, we'll go ahead and let this run and do its thing, I guess, because I've got to get all this sand out. Once I get the sand out, I can start expanding all of this. Because then I can give myself a little bit more space to stash things for now. Gotta figure out the cinder. Otherwise it's gonna just wander through the system. Okay, well, I'm sure this is boring to look at. Okay, well, I got all this to work with. Maybe in here will be where I store some of the gold. Go ahead, and pump out this stuff. Okay, well, let's go ahead, clear out that and that. Do this the old-fashioned way, I suppose. Let's add more sand. There we go. We almost have this spot cleaned out. Now that's gonna probably clog up and mess up the system for a bit doing this, but I need to get it going in order to empty out and get the next section processing. Speaking of which, let's go look and see. We have most of it's gone through. So, if you have a beard, or if you grow beards, you are familiar with the itchy phase. And that's where mine's at right now. Hitting that just long enough to be itchy and scratchy, but not long enough to be cool looking. Ugh, my face, it's all itchy. Usually when I take a shower, I use just like 2-in-1 shampoo, conditioner, combo stuff, and I just use that to wash my face. And usually it helps pretty good, but when it starts getting to the itchy phase, it's rough. I'm probably going to need to do that again soon. Do a good scrub and clean, and then a face scrub, like really clean out, and get the like a fancy beard oil, or like a, I don't know, maybe like argan oil or something. Ooh, we're already all the way over to here. Yeah, let's go ahead and just make this a solid piece. Get rid of all this. There, look at all that space. There's enough space to expand all of the dirt. Alrighty, well, I think I'm gonna probably time-lapse this part here, because it's gonna be boring. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. So we're gonna time-lapse this one, and once most of the sand works its way through the system, we're gonna go back and get the next section started. So, I would ask you guys how you think on that. What are your thoughts on that, I should say. But obviously, until this comes out, you can't tell me. So I have to make an executive decision. That's what I'm gonna do. So I will be back. Okay, well, that's almost done now. Definitely still have some space to work with. That's good. Okay. Well, now that that is sorted, I think it's time to go work on that next little section. Alright. On to the next section. Actually, let's just do this. Do the same for the other side. Oh, so recently I saw this video. It was pretty funny. The guy, I think it's called When You Live in a Haunted House, but the Rent is Cheap. It made me laugh. With the guy trying to deal with all the haunted house stuff. It's like all the classic tropes of haunted houses, or I don't know about. I don't think tropes is the right word for it, but stereotypes maybe. But yeah, no, it's really funny. The guys, he's in this apartment. They do it sort of documentary style, like somebody's doing question and answer type scenarios. So, you know, as they're talking to the guy, all these weird supernatural, like hauntings and ghosts or demons, whatever. It all just kind of happens like it does in the shows or in the movies, and while they're talking, the guy's just explaining about how he's figured all this stuff out. Like how he showers outside because the shower drain is mean to him. Kind of making fun of it. At least the original one. Because it's like... He shows the drain in the shower. And they have the... I mean, obviously it's like synth style voice, whatever, adjustments. Yeah, it's just like... Just says something mean to the guy. It's pretty funny. Anyway, I'll have to see if I can link it. But yeah, I think it's just called When You Live in a Haunted House Because the Rent is Cheap. I think that's the... Yeah. I'll probably, like I said, I'll probably have to link it so that you guys can see it. Because it made me laugh. A lot of hand movement to clear all this out. So, at work, me and one of the other guys are talking about stuff, and the topic of chat, like the bots, like GPT and things like that. But we got onto the topic of it because we were talking about YouTube's ads and stuff, and how they are completely ridiculous. Like I've been getting a lot of those like weird fake stuffed animals. There's like, oh, these are super ultra realistic and lifelike, and it'll cure your depression. Like it just the weird stuff like that. And so we got onto that topic, and yeah, if you haven't got, I mean, I try to use an ad blocker, honestly, because some of the stuff is just so outlandish and it's so ridiculous to the point that ads for stuff are just like, I mean, YouTube has its policies. Like if you read through it, it's like, oh, no sexual content, no spam, no whatever, and they do it anyway. Like I've been getting a whole bunch of them for the stupid, like, I mean, I guess it's supposed to be like cheap, generic, almost Viagra or something. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, I've been getting that one. The other one I've been getting is this weird, like, meet and date Ukrainian women. I'm like, who puts up this ad? I mean, I get people putting up the ads with like, oh, look at this fake, super amazing AI robot, something, something, puppy dog. Like, because they'll scam you and it'll be like, oh, yeah, here's this weird, not even tried to make it sort of situation where it's like it's kind of a stuffed animal, but it doesn't even have batteries. It's like it's just a weird scam that they pull to try to get people to buy random things on Amazon so that they can get rid of it. I mean, you know it's a scam because they don't even... You never really see the product. Like, they'll say it's a super cute, ultra realistic dog robot, and the entire video is just all about how some student at MIT figured out how to super enhance robotic AI stuff. And it's like, no, they didn't. It's all a scam. So yeah, I get that one. Let's see, what was the other one? Oh yeah, all the like AI chatbots. That was how we got onto that topic, because we were doing the AI chatbot thing. And it was like, we were talking about how the ads, because yeah, while we were on the topic of YouTube's ads and how weird and kind of gross they are sometimes, the AI chatbots came up, and I was like, yeah, it's just fancy text prediction. It's like when you're typing on your phone and your phone tries to guess what words you're going to use based on either context or the type of word that it is, etc. So I was explaining it because he's I don't know, 20 something, so he's a lot younger, and you'd think he'd be the one that knows it age wise, but yeah, I was telling him about it, and I can't remember how I put it exactly, but because it works like a predictive text model where it says, here's these words, here's what these words might mean, and what would be the most likely I want solution, word, answer, whatever, and then I'll try to do that. And we got on the topic of like how to gaslight the AI, because really, an AI, especially the big like GPT, is the what do they call it? Large language learning models or something. But yeah, they do that, and you know, you just get a yes man, basically. The computer just says, oh, this is what you're wanting, or this is what you think you need, or whatever. And so then it just basically spits out what it thinks that you want to hear. And then we got onto the topic of how all those AI chatbot things, it's like, yeah, they can be useful, and they can be, oh, that's not the one, and they can do a lot of good if you know how to use them properly. Because the way I tend to use those AI basically those AI models is I use it more either for research, where I'm like, oh hey, I'm looking for sources on X, Y, and Z. You know, either I use it for that and it can give me like a summary, and then I can actually go through and look at the sources, and I can be like, oh, did this politician say this? And then, you know, you can use like GPT or whatever, and it'll say, you know, some people say that this is what they said, or here's the quote, and here's an article from, New York Times or something. And so then it helps you with it, so then you can actually go through and look at the sources and read the articles or whatever. So that's kind of how I use it. I think the way I had described it was that normal Google searches or normal, just search engine searches, it's taking whatever text and then it's just trying to find matches, right? So it's just working on saying, hey, this is a word, and here's the internet, and here's where I found that word. And that's basically what it's doing. But because the AI stuff, they can basically do the predictive text. You can ask, this is the other thing I'll use it for, is obscure questions where you don't know the answer, but you do. You know what I'm talking about, where like you're talking to somebody or a friend and you're going, oh yeah, what's that movie? It's the one where, The Rock plays the big guy, and so you ask the questions and then your friends are going, I think it was this one movie, and so you're trying to find the movie, or you're trying to find a song, and you're trying to find the name of something, etc. And that's the other thing that I found that those AI models are really good for. You can ask it those obscure questions, or you can ask obscure either quotes or references, and nobody's quite sure which one it is, or you forgot the name of the movie, or whatever the reasoning, and it'll go through and it'll like search everything. So it'll pull up Reddit and it'll go, oh, on Reddit, there's these posts that seem to be talking about this quote, and everyone's talking about this movie. So it'll spit back the thing and it'll go, oh, were you talking about this movie? And then you can be like, oh yeah, that's the movie I was talking about. That's exactly it. Or you can try to narrow it down or something. But yeah, that's what I've noticed, is it's good for that kind of thing. It's not the greatest for chat because, like I said, it's pretty much just a yes man, so it'll just say what it thinks you want it to say, which is fine in some cases, but again, it could be fun though. But yeah, it's more about, like I said, I think it's more about using it for research, because it's really handy, and I can absolutely see why kids in colleges and stuff use it so much to help with writing papers or whatever. But don't use it that way. Use it for research. So like, it's basically a really, really fancy version of Google or Siri or what's the other ones? Yeah, it's basically a really fancy version of that, where you can ask it these random questions and it'll help figure out the answers. And then, yeah, always double check your sources, because sometimes those AI things will give you a source and then they'll say that the source says something when it doesn't. So make sure you check your sources, because you don't want to end up being completely wrong because the AI didn't know what it was talking about, you know? Okay, we gotta fill in all of this. Oh, I just recently introduced my kids. They've heard the song before because of like Crazy Frog, but they've never heard the real song. So recently I introduced the kids to the song Popcorn. And most people don't know it by name, but anybody either older or who has listened to a lot of music when they were younger probably knows it. If you haven't, you need to look it up and listen to it. It's only like 2 minutes long. But yeah. Let's see. Okay. So, yeah. This is going to be a terrible version of it. But, here we go. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. That's so off key. I would have to like sing that a whole bunch. Anyway, yeah, you know it. You've heard it. I know it. At least I'm sure most of you have. Yeah. Anyway, so back on topic. Yeah, I recently introduced my kids to the song, and they had heard the Axel Frog version where he remixes it and he's doing all the weird noises, whatnot. But they had never actually heard the song, so I was giving them reference to help them understand the actual, like, here's what the song is that it's it's mixing and using. And it was funny because my daughter, she's like, "Oh, I still like the frog one better." And it made me a little sad. I was like, "No, you're supposed to like the good one better." And we're gonna add a few more pumps down here, just to make sure that all that water can get pulled out of there. We're getting there. Get this all moving along. So here's another one. I like to listen to stuff, and sometimes I'll do audiobooks and sometimes I'll do podcasts and whatnot. Depends on how much time I have or what I'm doing. But recently I've been listening to this book. It's a little off-putting because I'm pretty sure whoever wrote the book, I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, but I'm assuming they italicized or they changed stuff. Because it's the story, the novel, the audiobook, whatever you want to call it. It is, now if you're not familiar with it, but that's the term isekai. If you're familiar with it, you know what it means, and you can skip. But if you're not familiar, it's basically the concept of reincarnation, but it's reincarnation in a different place, like another world, or in a game, or in a comic book, whatever. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're really cheesy, and the concept in the book itself is fairly interesting, but the main Like, the main thing with that book, I'm assuming, I could be wrong, I would have to actually go find the physical copy of the book, but I'm assuming that the stuff is italicized or bold or something, because the guy who's reading it, every time he reads something that would be part of the system or something that would be part of like an explanation on whatever, he says it like in this weird robotic voice. Like one character, yeah, he's the hero, and they'll be talking, and so two characters will be talking, and then the one character will be like, "Oh, I already know that you're the hero," but the way the guy will say it, again, because I'm assuming it's probably done that way for the physical book, where it'll say that, but it'll be italicized for some reason or whatever. So then the guy will go, "Oh, but we already know that you're the hero, so there's no reason for you to hide that you're the hero." And it's just like, it's just a little bit off-putting, but the story is sort of interesting, so I'm still gonna finish it. And I'm not the only one who's had that either thought or opinion, because if you go on and you look at the reviews of the book, there's a bunch of people that almost gave it 5 stars, but didn't because of that exact reason. They're like, the author, the character does something, and because it's part of the system, the narrator, he'll say the thing the way it would be if it was typed. So it's like I said, it's a little off-putting, but it's pretty good story-wise. Yeah, I like to read and listen to I like to listen to stuff when I'm either going on my walks or I'm at work or something. I can just toss in an earbud or two and let everything just run while I'm working on stuff. So anyway, yeah, there's that topic. I'm not sponsored by Audible, obviously, because I'm not big enough to justify a sponsor. I mean, if they wanted to give me $10, that'd be awesome. But it's not going to happen. And that's okay. Well, that's all working its way through. I mean, obviously I'm going to have to come back through and clean out all this underneath stuff. I think this one was going to be the cinder, if I remember right. I think. I could be completely wrong, though. Okay. We should be getting stuff coming up. Yeah, there we go. There's plenty of red sand right now. It's good. Yeah. That way I can have all this cinder ready to go up in that top left corner. Sure, this is way more than I actually need, but I just want to get rid of this lava. Turn it all into cinder so I don't have to worry about it accidentally causing some sort of weird steam trap thing going on. Ooh. I had a really good dinner today. It was really yummy. Got chicken breast, cut it all up into kind of bigger chunks, but it's like 1-inch chunks. Okay, I shouldn't say it. I didn't say I did it, but this is what it was, so I had it. Because my wife is the one who cooked it up. But it's chunks of chicken breast, all cooked up in like this really good kind of teriyaki marinade thing. And then we made fried rice. Not a fancy homemade one, just regular fried rice. And then mixed it all up together. It was super good. Got this side up and running. That side's kind of going slow, but it's up and running. Good. Now it's going to take its time. Oh, there you go. Got a little stuck there. This should take its time, but should process everything out of here. I mean, it is all moving. Let's do a filter. And then this can get rid of the sand. Oh, not the sand, the snow. Okay. Well, I think pretty much at this point, probably just gonna call it. I'll probably cut this episode down so I can record the other game and still have some time to do that, maybe. Make sure everything's running okay. Let that run now. It's all kind of fixed up and ready to go. Time to go do one last circle through just to make sure everything's working okay. Then we'll be done. I know I said earlier that we'd be done, but I wanted to make sure everything was working right. Alright, well, that's gonna finish filling up all that cinder into there. And I think that is my stopping point. I know I said it earlier and then I got distracted. Whew. But this is now the stopping point. So, if you are liking the video, feel free to hit the like. If you want to see more, I definitely recommend the subscribe. And until next time, have fun.